I'm just about to finish off all the skirting boards in this 1930s renovation property. All the walls have been freshly replastered, and I have a plea for all plasterers out there. Please stop doing this, because it really does my head in and makes life awkward for trades coming in after the plasterers have finished. Hiya folks, welcome back to the show. Look, I don't want to come across as a whingy get, because I know how hard plastering is. It's a dark art. I can't do it. I still think it's magic. So plasterers, honestly, you rank up there kind of ahead of, well, most trades, because I just don't get it. I don't understand how you... Anyway, my plea is, please stop leaving snots of plaster at the bottom of walls, because it makes life so awkward for joiners and anyone coming in to fit skirting boards. Let me show you what I mean. So this is a problem I've had to deal with on almost every wall that's been replastered. And basically, can you see towards the bottom here, it kind of bows out. Look, so can you see how the trowel kind of rocks like that? Because it's sticking out miles there. That's actually not too bad, but it does cause, you see, look, when you try and put the skirting on, it does that. And I need the skirting to be perfectly plumb so that we'll get a good mitre on this corner, because obviously I've got the scribe cut for that end, so I've got a nice join there. I just need the wall to be nice and flat and plumb at that point. I don't really care about the rest of the wall, but this bit of the wall, it just seems some plasterers always leave it with blobs of plaster along the bottom here, and it's awful for fitting skirting boards onto. And the trouble is, if I go around and chip all that off, sometimes it can cause a crack in the plaster to run all the way up the wall. I have seen situations in the past where you kind of chip away to get your blobs of plaster off, and yeah, it just destroys the entire wall. So my plea is, of all the places of the wall to get perfectly plumb and flat, behind the skirting boards is like the most important bit. So here, probably the only thing I can do here is maybe just chip this away a little bit at the bottom. But realistically, it's all the way along here, and it's a bit too much. It's a bit too much to chip away, to be honest, and I'm going to have to hoover all that up. But then, when we get onto this wall, it's even worse, man. It's bowing out about 5mm at the bottom there. Let me try and show you. So look, if I put that on there, look. So, I don't know if you can see that. Let me move this to show you a little bit better. So look, the wall is like so far out from being kind of true at the bottom there. Let me show you with the plasterer's trowel. So yeah, it's just miles out at the bottom there, and it's causing, basically what I'm going to have to do is chip everything away here, but I don't want to damage the wall too much. I'm going to do it with a multi-tool actually, and see if that does it. I mean, it's not the most fun thing to deal with when we've got finished floors, the whole place is about to get decorated and all that sort of thing, and then you have to start making a mess like that. There we go. I think that's a bit better. Let's give it a try. So that now sits. There we go. That's like 100 times better. And the thing is, I can kind of excuse it a little bit on this bit of wall, because that's like an old wall that's been replastered. So I don't know how flat the wall was. But we've had the same problem on all the walls, and these have been dot and dabbed with brand new plasterboard. And we've had exactly the same problem with blobs of plaster all around the bottom of the room. And as I say, you end up with just like the skirting board doesn't sit nice, and the options are either to chip away at the plaster and risk damaging the wall, or scribe out the back of the skirting board, which is a nightmare of a job. So yeah, as per usual, the moral of this story is to make life easier for the next trades coming along. Watch this, I'll do all this whinging in a bit, it doesn't bloody fit in. There we go, all fixed, good as new, and I really don't want to come across as being that guy, but it's just one of those things I run into all the time, and it seems like a relatively simple thing to kind of fix while putting the plaster on, but once the plaster's all set, it's not as easy to sort out. So just these little things can make life so much easier for the next person coming along. And at the end of the day, we've all got a job to do, and I just want to go to the pub. It's a Friday afternoon. Watch is covered in dust. Folks, as per usual, look after one another, be nice to each other. We shall see you next time. Tatty bye.